shit all kinds of fucked off. And we're getting there. All right. All right. Well, welcome to the show, guys. I don't know yet if anybody can see me. I don't necessarily see it. There we go. Looky there. All right, gang. How you doing? Welcome to High Desert Music Channel. This is the Friday night show. So, yeah, we're here on a Friday night like usual. And we are tonight is the first night. Let me turn some other stuff off here, gang. Tonight is the first night. We are going out now tonight to Rumble and Twitch and YouTube, hopefully all at the same time. Sure looks like the YouTube channel is working that way. So tonight, kind of like every other live show that we do, I'm going to be watching a bunch of stuff and not the camera like I should. So there you go. Happy Friday to you guys. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for checking us out here at High Desert Music Channel. It's Friday, so who knows what we're going to get into. We'll figure something out. I'm sure there will be something pop up that we ought to talk about. Talk about practice for sure. What kind of practice did I get this week? Certainly not what I was looking for. It almost seems like I went backwards this week with this MPK Mini. Yeah, I'm not catching on. I don't guess like I oughta, and that's kind of bothersome. It's kind of a pain in my ass. So, I'm going to keep trying with it. I want to get better at it. I want to use it. And I keep seeing these commercials on all of the videos that you watch all over the various social medias that you use, whichever ones you choose to use. For like Chord Genie and some of these other things and these other plugins. Co-producer is the other one I've seen a bunch of, and I just wonder if those are really worth it. Do I need to invest a little more money to actually make this more seamless and useful to me? I don't know. It would be nice if I could make it a little more usable, and I don't know enough about it. I'm starting from absolute zero, which is obviously not helpful. Trying to learn how to use something like a MIDI keyboard and the software and everything from absolute zero by yourself, with nobody telling you how to do it, nobody saying, hey, no, do this, do that. I'm still kind of having the same output issues, and I'm having those on the channel for a lot of you guys that have watched some of the videos. Again, like I said, this is the first time we've been up on Rumble, but I put some of my videos up on Rumble, several of them, and we're catching some views for all you guys on Rumble that are giving us a shout, giving us a look, and checking out the videos. We sure appreciate it. Give us some comments, tell us what you think, good, bad, or otherwise. We'd love to hear it. Subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Anyway, probably you can hear in some of those videos it's music in one side and vocal in the other, and that is not what I'm asking for. So I think this week, in terms of practice, it's going to be kind of like last week, and the guitar and the bass might take a little bit of a back seat and be more software stuff and trying to figure out this computer stuff and make these videos better for everybody that does watch. It's not like I have some giant viewership out there checking out these crazy shows 3 times a week. And if you watch the show on Wednesday, then you know exactly how horrible that show was. So that's got to be a total rethink, and I don't know. I don't know what I want to do with that one yet. I don't know. On Wednesday nights, I kind of wanted to do a gear episode, and the live gear episode did not work. For anybody that watched it, it's not up on Rumble. I did not put it up on any of the other platforms. It's only up on the YouTube channel. Probably will stay that way as well. I don't know. I might bounce some of that stuff over here to Rumble. We'll see. On a side note, Rumble, not the easiest, not the hardest. I got a little bitchy with some of their people in an email, but I didn't necessarily like the response. Asked a pretty much straightforward yes or no question. Anyway, I'm glad to be on Rumble, don't get me wrong. And Rumble is what's given us the ability to now hit 3 channels at the same time, which is pretty cool. So hopefully we pick up some new folks from the Rumble side. Thanks for checking us out if you are. Christ, I forgot where I was. Anyways, talking about practice and the MIDI and all that. It's just, I don't know how to do it, and I'm having output issues that I'm not sure how to fix. And I don't know what to do with my output issues. I don't know how to take care of them necessarily. A lot of people said a few people, 2 or 3 people told me the same thing. Well, you got to set the output for each individual track as you put it in. Well, that's not an option. I don't see that as an option. And so, again, it's kind of like I was saying with the input or the output on these videos. I'm trying to get stereo output with the videos through the Focusrite. It's not quite working. Most of the time, it seems like it's giving me audio. Of course it's giving me audio. It's giving me mono, it seems like most of the time, and I don't mean it in a good way, because I certainly didn't kiss any girls lately to get mono from. But, so anyhow, it seems like they're spitting out in mono and not in stereo, and that's kind of something I need to figure out. I want to work around that one. With the MIDI, every place it gives me the option of where I want the sound to output and how I want to be able to hear and monitor said sound, I have set to go through the Focusrite. Therefore, it's either going to come out through the headphones or through my speakers, my monitor setup, my actual studio monitor, loudspeaker setup. Yet, the only thing I can get is out of the computer speaker, even if I tell the computer itself, the laptop itself, even when I tell it I want the sound to go through the Focusrite, it still comes out of that computer speaker, and I can't figure out that one. I don't get it. So again, as I have begged and pleaded every week, if you know anything at all about an Akai MPK Mini and MPC Beats, the software that comes with it, and you're willing to give me any help at all, God knows I need it, man, because I'm getting kind of frustrated with this thing, and it's, starting to bug the shit out of me a little bit. So yeah, if you do come across this video at some point, and you do know something about an MPK Mini, let me know at High Desert Music Channel @gmail.com, all one word, all lowercase. Leave it in a comment on one of the videos. I see we got somebody on Twitch, and thanks for checking us out on Twitch, man. To be real honest with you, Twitch viewer, I have never even seen the Twitch page. I set it up because it was an option when I put all the grouping together for going on being able to use Rumble and YouTube at the same time. Twitch was an option, so I made a page. Thank you to whoever you are on Twitch. You rock. Right on. That's pretty cool. If you leave a comment on that Twitch page, I'll come answer it, because that's awesome. I don't know how you came across me, but right on that you did. Welcome to the show. Some of the worst entertainment you're going to find on the internet anywhere, and we're kind of proud of that around here. So anyhow, this week is if any of you guys watching, in the huge viewership, and I mean, I've asked these fools over here in the studio audience, and they know nothing. Again, these people in the studio audience, did you guys get your tacos? Yeah. See, and that's all they care about is the tacos. We give them cards under their seat. There's a pencil, the whole thing, like a golf course pencil, to fill out your comment card, and it always revolves around tacos. It's never about the show. It's never about the content of the show. It's always about tacos, man. But we love the studio audience. Thankfully, they're here to keep things interesting and exciting for us all. Otherwise, it might get a little boring around here. So anyway, Akai MPK Mini. If you know how to use one, let me know. Leave it in a comment. Send an email. Again, that's High Desert Music Channel. All one word, all lowercase, at gmail.com. I would love any help, any information, a good video that I could check out. Chances are I might have seen it, but maybe I missed something in it. Let me know, because I would really like to get that going for you guys, and get some backing music to these songs that I'm playing for you and these videos that I'm putting out. And to you lone Twitch viewer tonight, I will start putting some videos up on Twitch. If you want to see some crappy covers, man, they're coming at you. YouTube and Rumble are crawling with my crappy covers, and I will make certain that Twitch very soon is crawling with my crappy covers. By daylight, you guys will start getting some crappy covers. They are some of the crappiest, man. I mean, it don't get much gooder than the stuff we're putting out here at High Desert Music Channel. So we aim to please. So instruments and playing this week, practice, quote unquote, that sort of thing. Again, let me hammer on the same ridiculous record I've been scratching on for a while. Chord changes, chord progressions, chord change. That's kind of what I've been doing. Worked on some melodies, still playing playing that Rick Astley tune quite a bit. I think my neighbors are starting to get tired of hearing that one in the morning on the front porch. But such is the world. Sorry about that. I'm trying to get that one kind of down cold. I was able to get the 2 tracks recorded and off to their inline user, and hopefully they work out for that creator and they get used. It'd be cool, like I said, on Wednesday night, I think was the night I was talking about it. It would be cool just to, have my name associated with somebody else's amazingly good work, and and get a little recognition, get some more people to come watch the channel, watch the crappy covers, and maybe then they stop being crappy covers eventually. And eventually I'll come up with a cough button to take care of that, and but hey, again, it wasn't a big old wad of gum this week like it has been in the past. So, there's that. We're coming around, man. Give a guy a break. That's the chords. That was a big part of the week. But again, did work on some melody stuff. Played a couple older tunes that I haven't played before, trying to think of more crappy covers to get out for you guys. So I went practicing through some of that stuff. The older songs that I haven't played for a while. That was a pretty special one. Perhaps you'll see it and you'll know. Anyhow, I went through some melodies. The way I like to play, I prefer the melody playing over chord playing anyway. So I played went through some of the older tunes that I haven't played in a while. I realized it's easy to forget them, and that when you come back sometimes after 3 or 4 months of not playing, it's like, Jesus, I've never seen this song. It sounds so bad. But that was part of my practice. The bass actually, the first few weeks I was on, kept talking to you guys about how I was letting the bass just kind of sit and not really going after it, the guitar, and had been putting a lot of time in with the bass, and that's kind of flip-flopped in the last 10, 12 days. Ever since that Wednesday episode, I guess that was 2.5 weeks ago now, where I put the pickup in that Fender acoustic. Ever since that episode, the guitar has come back. Started playing it quite a bit more. So yeah, that's kind of cool. The bass kind of, like I say, took a back seat, at least in terms of learning this week. I played bass every day. I played some amount of the bass every day, 20, 30 minutes an hour, somewhere around there every day. But I'm not moving forward really the last couple of weeks, 10 days or so. I'm not progressing. I'm just playing the same songs. I'm getting a little better at those songs, catching things that I hadn't noticed before. And that's been helpful. That's been helpful. But I need to move forward and learn more songs. Let me do some more real high quality professional stuff and scratch on my ear for a minute. But yeah, it's songs tend to get stale, I guess. You play them enough times, they seem to get stale, and so I need to get into that and not be letting the bass go without actual learning, and just kind of getting stuck in a groove of playing the same 6, 8, 10 songs, whatever it is. Again, getting better at those tunes, getting a lot better at one. The end, man. Any of you guys out there ever tried to play the bass line from Metallica 1? Towards the end, it's tough. And I'm playing a musician version of it. So, my guess is that most people probably learned a different version, learned a closer to the reality version of the song than what I'm playing on musician. But there's a spot at the end, and it's open E, second fret A, open E, third fret A, right? And the way it moves, it's so fast. It moves it just moves so fast. And I tried to play it, and I can almost keep up with it and almost keep it together and keep the pattern. The pattern is hard to hold for me still, but I'm almost there. And anyways, I play that, and I try to get better at it, and I am. And it's sounding closer and closer. But then I just wonder, man, how in the world did Cliff Burton play this with fingers? It takes everything I got. Now, granted, obviously, I'm not in Metallica, nor am I a professional musician of any caliber. I can, hey man, I can tune one up and play it if I have a tuner. So yeah, granted, but it just amazes me that somebody could play that with fingers. It goes so fast, and I'm still having trouble with two fingers. How guys will walk their fingers on a bass. People that play the bass will walk their fingers, and I'm barely capable. I play with a pick, and it seems like that's going to hold for a while. Sacrilege as that may be to some of you out there, I play with the pick. I play Newstead style. Some of you guys that have watched some of my other videos and listened to me ramble on for hours before, I'm kind of heavy-handed. if you if you've watched any of my videos, especially with an electric bass, yeah, I'm pretty heavy-handed. I come at it. I beat that thing up, and you know, my Schecter earns her keep. She gets hammered on and beaten and flogged, and I'm quite okay with that, you know. So hello, how you doing? Thank you for the chats. So yeah, I play kind of heavy-handed. I'm trying to learn how to not do that so much and use fingers here and there. I've been using a Cool in the Gang tune, get down on it to practice with fingers. I have also realized with the Fender bass, the Fender acoustic bass that you guys have seen in my videos, and for me, perhaps because of my crazy thumbs, I don't quite know. You know, if you guys haven't ever noticed my thumbs, I can't. My thumbs don't do what everybody else's does, right? Like I get to there and it goes, right? That's it. So I don't know if that's part of why some of these things are difficult. But because maybe I can't get my thumb in the right spot or something on the body of the bass, but I cannot really play that acoustic with my fingers. It seems like there's just nowhere to rest my hand and play the way I'd like to. I've tried my hand, like my thumb kind of hanging off the top of the body and reach all the way down, and I got fairly decent sized hands, and it works. But I don't know. So, and I've been playing a lot of acoustic, and that's probably why some of my finger abilities have not moved forward, because I'm not playing one of my electrics where I can rest the thumb on the pickup and play. So that's a difficulty that I've got to overcome and try to figure out, because there's a lot of tunes I play that I think would be better, especially on the acoustic, if I could play it with my fingers. But I'm working on it. So if you got any ideas? What are the best ways to play an acoustic with your fingers? Where do you rest your thumb? Do you go all the way back to that piece of wood on the bridge and try to play from there, or do you hang it off the top of the body? Maybe invest the $10 in the little rubber things, that glue on the body, and you can use it for an anchor point. I don't know. But that was part of kind of, I tried it this week. I tried to play that, and thinking out loud. Yeah, there's a rocker for you, huh? Burning down a neighborhood with that one, man. Anyways, so yeah, try to play that one with fingers. It moves it at kind of the right speed that works for me with fingers at this point. Results, mediocre at best, especially again on that acoustic. Nowhere to land the finger, nowhere to really park. So yeah. But that's kind of the way I'm feeling about the bass is, I'm kind of static. That doesn't thrill me. It's just what it is. So so be it. Just here now that we're kind of in the middle of this thing, I will say I do apologize to you folks at Rumble for kind of being an asshole in those emails. I'm a little frustrated. I apologize. And their stuff actually seems pretty smooth and pretty, now that it's all put together, seems like it's working fairly seamless. Kind of like it. So again, for you guys out there on Rumble and Twitch, there's a couple of you out there. Thanks for coming to the channel. Thanks for checking us out. The Friday night show here. Guys, how you doing over there? Yeah? All right. Those guys are happy. Their tacos are still coming out, man. The folks over there in the kitchen just cranking out the tacos right now. I mean, tray after tray after tray of cheap tacos. But, you know, my studio audience deserves the worst. So anyway, thank you for coming out, guys. We sure appreciate you being in the studio audience. It does make the show a little more fun. Yeah, what else we're going to get into this week that we didn't already do this? You know, what did I not do last week that I need to do this week? Well, I'll tell you what. I did find a couple of spots out in the desert where I think I'm going to try to go get some video this week. I would like to, if things work out and weather gets to be in a little more on my side, go out. There's some really cool spots where I have some ideas maybe of playing a few songs as the sun's coming up over the hogbacks behind me. So I got some ideas on some maybe visually more appealing videos, since the quality of the music's probably not going to come up all that much, you know, in a few days. But so hopefully that works out for me. I went out there actually, I think that was yesterday, day before yesterday. Anyways, hauled the old hound dog out to the desert and turned him loose, let him run around for a while. And I went to a spot and thought, okay, man, this is a cool backdrop, you know. It was a nice little washout in a canyon, and it was pretty slick, man, nice looking. The sunshine was right, the cloudiness was, you know, good. It looked good on the screen, and it was windy as hell, and you couldn't hear anything. And my camera is not super high quality, and it doesn't seem to like it when I plug a microphone into it. An external mic it tells me that it's on, but it never seems to be able to get any input. So there's another one. Oh boy, now that is professionalism, and don't you forget it out there in TV land. So anyways, I had a good idea, you know. I don't necessarily, well, who cares? So the idea was to go out there with a sweet, really cool desert backdrop and play Star Spangled Banner, right? It's Labor Day weekend, all that stuff. So that was the idea, and it was just windy as hell. And again, my camera's a POS, and I apparently can't get a external mic, and I didn't, you know, have all the stuff required to run this whole pile of stuff that I have. I do have an idea as to how to make it work when I go back and try again, and create something maybe a little gooder, and be able to pipe it directly through. You know, one of my mixing boards, I think I can haul it with me, and runs on batteries. I think I can haul it with me and pipe the guitar and the bass through that mixing board, so that windy or not, you're going to hear it. But yeah, so I want to go try to get some daylight or some sunrise shots of some sunrise videos of me playing Star Spangled Banner, acoustic guitar and acoustic bass, and hopefully, you know, the clouds were clearing out this afternoon. It's been a little cold and a little cloudy out here in the desert the last couple of days. Certainly the 100 pluses seem to be gone. Anyhow, so hopefully we get some weather on our side, and I can get out and get some cool videos for you guys to get up on the channel. You know, for you guys on Rumble, I put a whole bunch of stuff up today. Kind of caught the Rumble channel up to where the YouTube channel was in terms of the amount and the quantity of videos. Not quite there yet, but a lot of them got moved across today. And like I said to our lone Twitch viewer, we sure do. I'll get stuff up to you guys on Twitch and start uploading videos to the Twitch channel tonight, tomorrow, you know, in the next day or two, and try to get all these caught up. And you know, that is definitely, again, something I mentioned it on Wednesday, And, it may as well be spoken of again on Friday because it is kind of practice oriented. Coming up with shorts and ways to engage people on Instagram and TikTok. I put a bunch of videos up on TikTok today, and they've gotten some views, and that's kind of cool. Don't get me wrong, that's pretty cool. Some of the analytics that I've seen show that I'm getting views on videos, and not a lot of them though are original views or new views. It's the same, like 4 people, 5 people watching these crappy covers 50 times. Which, hey man, if you're showing it to your buddies and going, look at this idiot, dude, look at this shit, great, please, man, do it. To all of the buddies that's being thrown in your face by your friend to watch, subscribe to the channel, man, please. Yeah, I've been stuck at 63 subscribers on YouTube for a couple of weeks now. Haven't gotten a new one in a while, despite the new videos and the extra views. Not that it's a lot of extra views. Again, don't get me wrong. I'm talking 100, 150 views, man. I'm amazed right now that somehow there's 5 people watching this. Granted, I'm pretty sure that two of those 5 are me. But if there's 3 other folks out there watching, and I don't know who, again, Twitch viewer, I'm amazed if you're actually still here or if that's like a bot from the channel that's watching me. Not sure if you're a real person watching us on Twitch. Again, thank you so much, man, for stopping by on our very first ever Twitch episode. This is our first live episode on Rumble. So yeah, we're learning a little bit, trying to make things better, trying to move forward, give you guys something better to watch, something better to see, a little more entertaining, a little more worth your Friday night. Hey, that's what I'm here for. Make your Friday night interesting and amazingly enjoyable. That's what we really hope for. Yeah, and so yeah, some desert music, that's going to be on the list. I don't know. I don't think I want to try to. I could, obviously try to head out there with an amp and try to run it off of the pickup or something, power inverter. I don't know that I want to do that. I think acoustic would be better. What do you guys think? Let me know. Send me a message and send me a chat. Send an email, whatever. What do you think? Sunrise acoustic probably sounds better to me. Maybe. I'm starting to have a hard time almost really playing something other than the acoustics. I've been playing the acoustics, the acoustic bass and the acoustic guitar a lot in the last 3-4 weeks. There's been a lot of sitting on the porch in the morning playing music, and so that obviously is going to be acoustic, and so I've been playing the hell out of the acoustics, and I don't know, it's not that I'm against my electrics. I like my electrics. I like my ridiculously loud amps and all that. So yeah, we'll see. But I'm pretty sure, that I'm going to get some sunrise video this week. Hopefully again tomorrow, like I say. Hopefully I'm going to try. I got up this morning, man. Let me tell you what. I got up this morning shortly after 5 because it's a half hour, 40 minutes to get out where I want to go to get this video. So I got up about 5:15 this morning and went outside, because I smoke like the chimney on a coal-fired power plant. And so, your feet hit the floor, you're going to have to go have a cigarette. Any of you smokers out there know what I'm talking about. Dirty, nasty habit that I've had for 30 years. And, yeah, one day we'll walk away from that one. That's a separate story. She's going to have to be awful special and just ask real nice, and then I suppose I will. Till then, probably not happening. So anyhow, I went out this morning, 5:15, something like that. Smoked me a smoke, and only to realize how gray, cloudy, overcast it was. Now, a lot of times here in the desert, that doesn't matter because at 67 feet away, it's so there you go. You're definitely, yeah, absolutely. We will figure it out how to get you on here for some sort of an interview. If it's a video call, yeah, we'll figure that one out because that's definitely something that the show needs. Something I want to cover for sure. You know, how did you get to it? How you've been at it your whole life, man. I've known you forever. You've been at it your whole life, man. What is it that keeps you playing? What is it that keeps you wanting to do it more and more and more? So yeah, we will figure that out for sure. Yeah, we'll figure that out. Christ, I forgot where I was. Goddamn stoners. You know, what time's that clock say? Yeah. Anyhow, I lost it. Totally lost it. So anyways, yeah, we'll see what we get into this week. I definitely want to get some sunrise videos, man. I just think that would be kind of cool. You know, like I said, I don't want to say I licensed, quote unquote, but you know, hey man, I gave some music to another creator that hopefully can get out there. And to me, that was pretty cool. Like, I never really in my life considered recording a cover song of something. Granted, it was Star Spangled Banner, so it's a traditional, you know, it's not like I got to license it anyways. But it was just cool to me to record something like that and give it to somebody else and say, hey man, put it in your stuff. You know, you don't have to do anything other than use my name, if you would please, and get this out into your stuff. So yeah, because this creator, man, is just killing it. Just flat out killing it. And but yeah, so that was kind of cool to me, and that it kind of makes me want to get out and do better. Give you guys something better, give the world something better in terms of my crappy covers. At least if it's going to be crappy music, let's get you good backgrounds. You know, we'll try that. We'll see if we can't get some good video out in the world instead of here in the bedroom. I know my backdrop gets a little boring and is not the most interesting thing in the world to see. But so yeah, again, I will ask again, viewership has changed a little bit over the time being. If you are one who knows anything at all about an Akai MPK Mini and MPC Beats software, send me an email. highdesertmusicchannel@gmail.com. Put it in a chat. Put it in a comment on a video. Let me know how to get to you so I can ask you some questions. Maybe you can teach me how to use it. And we'll get you thrown on the channel for helping, of course. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I can help anybody out, but that's obviously an open invitation. You got something you want to put up on my channel, let me see it. I'm most likely to let it on. What do I care for the most part? You know, yeah, man. And if you want to hear my crappy covers, you want my crappy covers on your channel, let me know. I'll be more than happy to give them to you. Well, you know, licensed music, whatever. That's the whole point, man, to try and turn my world into a completely different direction. You know, as I've said before, I kind of got bitten hard and deep with the music thing, and kind of want it to stay that way. Prefer that it stays that way, and try to figure out how to make music make me a living. You know, that's a goal for sure. Get better at it along with all that. Give you guys something better. If you watch the show on Wednesday, let's talk about that for a minute, because that, good Lord, that was an abject failure. Wednesday's show, for anybody who might have caught that, was terrible, just horrendous, man. I tried to do a live episode. For those of you that didn't watch it, it's a half hour of your life you're never going to get back if you do. Please watch it. I love it. God knows I want the views, and any comments you wanted to make. I'm sure I can probably think of worse, but let's hear them. Love, hate, whatever. Send it on down the road. It's engagement. Engagement is engagement. So, anyhow, Wednesday's episode. Oh, I wanted to do a live gear episode. I want Wednesdays to be gear episodes. I kind of thought, Monday and Friday we just kind of chit-chat, talk about practice, what we did practice, what we're going to practice, how the week worked out, how we're hoping the next one does work, that sort of thing, kind of like this, just sit around and whatever pops up. It's a Friday night show. Hopefully eventually we start getting some viewers and people are asking questions in the chat and getting in on the chats, and I mean, maybe that'll help move the show forward. I don't know. Anyway, so I don't know. Yeah, I just think that the Wednesday gear episodes might have to be recorded. If you did watch the show, you saw I tried to do a review on a Boss Katana 50 watt Gen 3. Okay, pretty simple, pretty standard guitar amp. There's lots of them out there. But in the live video, I have one camera, and I didn't have really a good way to get a shot of the control panel, even though it is an amp that's been out for years and years and years and years, and most guys have seen one, and anybody that has taken lessons at Guitar Center has used one. Still, I couldn't get a shot of the control panel. Just maybe somebody out there has never seen one. Maybe somebody like me is an absolute beginner trying to figure out where he's best off to spend $200 on an amp, and what are you going to get the most for $200? And I did a disservice to those people. It was a crappy it was a crappy review, and I just was completely unhappy with the show from start to finish, which is why it was about 30 minutes, and that was it, because I just kind of gave up on it. That train had completely slid off the tracks and into the ditch. There wasn't much saving that one. So I need to figure those out. I think they're going to end up being recorded so that I can move the camera around and get you guys a shot of the control on these amps. Because as I've said before, I have a fairly decent stack of amps that I could review for you guys. I have a fairly decent stack of guitars and basses that I could review. I just don't know that in these live shows if that would work, because of the single camera, doing them by myself in this pretty small bedroom. A live show that would actually give you something decent is virtually impossible. So I think the gear episodes are going to start being recorded, and I don't know if I'm going to keep doing a live Wednesday or not. Maybe I just try to start getting these recorded for you guys, on Saturdays and Sundays and Mondays, or Tuesdays, whatever day, but just try to get stuff recorded for you guys and have it released on every Wednesday, and not necessarily be a live show on Wednesdays, and just do a Monday and a Friday live. We'll see. Again, let me know in the comments, emails, what you guys think. If you want to see, if you want to keep coming up 3 nights a week, and the 5 and 6 people that generally are watching, if you want to keep watching it, I'll keep at it for a while. I tell you what, I promised myself, I would try to go for 2 solid years. before I decided whether or not this was a failure. I don't know, I'm a month and a half, 5-6 weeks into it, and I didn't expect it to take off. I didn't expect to be making money. I didn't expect to have some crazy huge following in 6 weeks. I was hoping maybe for a few more viewers. I was hoping to, be slowly inching up with all the videos that I release. I mean, on YouTube, I've got like 70 videos out, 60 some odd videos. And I've been stuck at 63 subscribers for 2 weeks. And it seems like making a nickel at all and being able to make a living out of it is so far away. And obviously I'm not hitting on what people want. Obviously I haven't landed on the right thing yet in terms of the content, in terms of what I'm bringing to you guys. I obviously haven't landed on the right thing, the right manner of delivering it. I think that music is going to remain the thing. Music is definitely going to remain the thing. But the format's not right. Something's not right. We're just not gaining anybody. People aren't sharing the show. People don't stay the whole show. People don't stay long periods when they do watch the show. I'm looking at the numbers right now, and I'm pretty sure that most of those, the Twitch viewer, I can't imagine you're a real viewer. That must be the channel watching the show just to make sure there's nothing wrong with it, I guess. 2 Rumble viewers, I don't know if that means one of them is me because I'm watching the stream in front of me, and I don't know who the second one would be, unless it's because I have 2 instances of Rumble open on my computer, and one of them is on my channel and the other one is in Rumble Studio, so that I could be both instances of somebody watching on Rumble and one YouTube viewer, and I know that that's me because I'm watching it on my telephone. So, the thing is, I would like to be able to bring stuff to people that they wanted to watch. Not only you want to watch, yes, it's entertaining and it's somewhat informative, and it's something you want to watch. And it's something that makes you want to pick up a guitar, pick up a bass, sit down in front of a piano, find an accordion, a saxophone, whatever, and get sucked into music, and start to gain the really good stuff out of life that music has to offer. If you watched my Sunday show of Wash It Out, that's exactly what I was talking about. If you watch the Sunday episode of Life and Music, that's exactly what I was talking about. Like, this is one of those nights, weeks, I'm just not feeling it, not in the greatest of moods. And the time that I was able to play music this week kind of made it obviously better. Took away some of the shit floating around in my brain, and took away, some of the, at least was a brief respite from some of the bullshit in the world, right? And that's what I'm trying to get to people, and I really would like to land on the format that works. I'm not sure how to do that. I'm trying, and a point that I was making when I was counting viewers, and it looks like I've gained a couple since then, so thank you for watching. To the new viewers who just joined us, I realize, believe me, I realize that these shows are amazingly lacking in quality and in content, and I realize that my videos that I release that aren't the live stuff are lacking, wildly lacking. in quality of content and quality of production. And I get it. I know it. I'm trying to get better at it. I'd like to get better at it. But, you know, I mean, it takes me 30, 40 minutes to get the lights up in here, take the lights down at the end of the show. Again, this is my bedroom. And you guys don't understand, I know, because none of you have been in here. And that's probably a good thing. I mean, that's the studio audience. Those guys get to wander around in here. What did you guys think? You got to see it. What did you like it? They did. Yeah, okay. So the guys in the audience thought that the bedroom was pretty cool. Yes, thanks. Yeah, the bedroom, you know, where the magic happens, not really in my room at all. Unless you count the dog farting. Yeah. As you guys caught that Friday show, you know how that works sometimes. Anyhow, I mean, so I've got probably like an hour of putting shit up and taking shit down on top of whatever the show runs for. Because, again, this is my bedroom, and what you don't see is in front of me, that's not on camera, is my bed, and it is covered in AV shit. There's a camera, there's a computer, there's an APK, or the MPK, and there's the Scarlett, and there's the two mixing boards and sound boards, and all the cabling and extra lights and yada, yada, yada. It's all on my bed, right? So basically for the last month, 3 times a week, I have been coming out here and putting all this stuff up to make a TV show that 5 or 6 people watch. Sometimes more, don't get me wrong. I mean, some of my videos are getting some good, some of my videos are getting, for me, decent views, 50, 60 views, 100 views. Pretty big for me. You know, but there's a lot going into this that obviously I'm not seeing the return on, and that's because I'm not getting it correct. So again, I ask, you know, if you guys are out there, let me know what you want to see. How do I improve the show for you, right? How do I give you guys more desire to play? How do I give you more of what I get from playing? What do I need to do to bring that across? Do you want more skit-based kind of stuff? Is that what works? I mean, I don't know. You know, I thought maybe the Life and Music episode would be better than it was. That's gotten like 10 views, 12 views. And it's only 10 minutes. You know, it's 10, and not even, it's less than 11 minutes. A little more than 10, less than 11 minutes. You know, it's not like it's not going to waste a whole lot of your life. You know, we've all wasted 10, 15 minutes on something before. It's not going to waste a whole lot of your life. I was fairly proud of that one. I kind of liked it. I thought it was starting down the path that I kind of wanted to go to with that particular, I guess I'm going to call it a series. As I have 4 or 5 of those written down to record again, and there'll be a new one on Sunday morning. Life and Music episode number 2 will come out about 9 o'clock Mountain Time on Sunday morning. On now, it will be on Rumble. I'll get it on Twitch. It'll be on YouTube. All 3 places about the same time. So, again, give me 10 to 15 minutes to check it out and watch it, and let me know what you think. Is it something you want more of? Is it something you just don't care to see anymore? It doesn't matter to you at all. If it is something you like, is it the right length? Does it need to be longer? What is it that you guys would like to see? How can I serve you better as a music channel? So let me know in the comments. Let me know in an email. High Desert Music Channel at gmail.com. All one word, all lowercase. Let me know what I can do to improve the show for you guys, the folks that do come and watch. What do you want more of? What do you want less of? Maybe you just don't want the show at all anymore. I don't know. But as I said, I am determined to give ample time to get better at this, to improve the edits, improve the videos, the content, the quality of the videos, to improve as much of the presentation and the production quality and improve everything as I can. That's the goal. But it's going to take some time, and a little bit of input would be great. A little bit of input. Just let me know what you guys want to see more or less of. But yeah, again, Sunday morning, 9 o'clock, we'll have a new episode of Life and Music coming out. That'll most likely get recorded tomorrow. Hopefully, in the upcoming week, we'll get you some Sunrise Desert, Sunrise in the Desert music videos. So at least there'll be something nice to watch with the crappy cover instead of my cactus. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully hopefully the weather cooperates and we can get that out there this week and get that done. And get some cool video again to go with the bad music. Get a nice desert sunrise and see if maybe the weather cooperates. I don't know about tomorrow morning, man. It might be Sunday morning before I go out there and get those. I don't know. 2 days. It's not like getting up 2 days in the morning, 2 days in a row at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's exceptionally difficult. It just doesn't necessarily mean I want to. But it is for the channel, and therefore you soldier on and do so. So we'll see. Chances are I'll take a look at 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30, and see what the sky looks like. Maybe we'll get you some video tomorrow. So that's kind of the week. That's kind of how it went. That's going to be the week coming up. Maybe try to get into playing some electric stuff this week. And, most of my practice this week and the last few weeks, couple anyway, has been a lot of morning time stuff and playing on the porch with the acoustics, like I was saying earlier, and not playing the electric stuff. Haven't turned the amps on. Haven't hammered away on the eardrums for a while. I'm sure they're thankful of that. I'm sure the neighbors are pretty thankful. I'm sure the neighbors are thankful that I'm not banging away on at least on the big cabinet with the bass. However, I do know that they're not real thrilled with the studio audience because you guys are just so bad. The neighbor's lawn is just getting destroyed. And I don't know. You guys don't seem to care, do you? Yeah, see? This is the thing. Every time you ask them a question, it seems like the only thing in their brain is taco. Taco, 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 taco. That's all they want when it comes to the live studio audience here. I don't know. Eventually we'll start taking tickets somewhere else to hand them out. I don't think that street corner we've been using is really working anymore. Like I said, the neighbor's pretty pissed off about his grass. But, it's fall time. The grass is going to go dormant pretty soon anyhow. So, that's what it is. All right. Well, there's the hour mark of me wasting time. And, yeah. So that may be it for the night, boys and girls. I don't know that there's a whole lot else to get into. Try to, again, put out a call to anybody who knows how an MPK Mini really works and knows the MPC beats. Anybody that knows, like, if this Chord Genie is something to actually look into. If any of these other plugins are actually worthwhile and actually make things better. Maybe I'm using the wrong software. Maybe MPC Beats isn't the one to use. I have several others. Not several, but I have a few others that are full-on DAWs that I think would work. but anybody that has good information on that and can kind of halfway hold a guy's hand and get him at least started, figure out why my output is so wrong and what's going on there. Yeah, if you know that stuff, let me know. I could definitely use the help. Like I said last week, I used it, and I guess we're going to keep going for a while. I used it, and had gotten to a point where I could get the, it was making noise, right, through the software, and I could hear it. However, I could only hear it through the computer speaker, even though I'm, again, like I said, asking every setting available to not play the sound through the computer speaker, and it still was. But that part aside, the pads were working, the keys, if I had the right instrument, the keys were working, so I was getting there, and I tried to get some stuff recorded. It sounded like hell. It just was not good. It just wasn't good, but hopefully that gets better. But still, I'd like to figure out the whole output thing and why I'm not getting output through the Focusrite, even though that's what I'm asking for. Even if I tell the computer, the laptop itself, that I want the output going through the Focusrite, it was still putting the output of the MIDI through the computer speaker, and I couldn't figure that out. I'd really like to figure that out, because it seems to me it would be a whole lot easier to quote unquote produce and create music, which is what you're doing when you're using a MIDI, if I could hear it a whole lot better. Headphones, or at least get it through the monitor. In that case, I would like to hear it through my monitor. Like I have a Roland monitor set up, studio monitor set up. So I would like to hear my MIDI through that, which is it is the output for the Focusrite, the Scarlett. So again, I don't understand why, several people had told me that it's got to go, you have to have each track specific to where you want its output, but I'm not given that option. I don't see that option anyway. All the main outputs have been set to that. All of the main outputs have been set to Focusrite. The computer is supposed to be outputting any sound it gets through the Focusrite, and so I don't understand what's going on. I did learn some stuff with this APK, pad sensitivity. I learned how to adjust pad sensitivities. And some of the other settings that I would have never known without going through somebody else's videos. I'm kind of old, and something like this, to me, a book would be okay. But I would be willing to bet if somebody had a book, an actual paperback, printed, stapled together book for one of these, for an APK Mini and the MPC Beats software, that thing, it'd be a mile thick with the amount of shit that these things can do. And so, yeah, I've figured some things out, and adjusted some pad sensitivities and gotten that kind of to where I like it, and was, up and down, and got it to where I kind of like it, where I was getting the response that I wanted from them. Same with the velocity. That's what I was adjusting, was the velocity of the pads, the velocity of the keys. And I've got it to where I kind of like it. It seems okay. I just can't, again, get the output right to hear it in any manner that's really lets me know what I'm putting together. That I can, if the computer speaker sucks, and so you can't really tell what you're listening to. It's really hard to hear what you're listening to. And I haven't yet really been able to stack up 10, 12 instruments at once and really build something cool. That's a little further down the line for me. And again, maybe the MPC Beats software isn't the software to be using. Maybe there is a much better DAW to be using. And again, if you know that, if you got one that you like, let me know. Put it in a comment to the video, send us an email, live chat in these live shows. Let me know what you think, what you're using Windows based, not Apple. Not an Apple guy. Probably changing computers, hopefully sometime soon, by the first of the year. I'd like to get a different computer right around then, and try and step up the production value and quality of the show. And hopefully by then we've got some more viewers. But again, thank you guys so much for coming by and checking us out here at High Desert Music Channel. This is our first night. We're on Rumble and Twitch tonight. This is the first time we've been on those two channels, so really appreciate you guys from Rumble. I see your numbers coming up and down, but I really appreciate you guys on Rumble that are coming by to check us out. That's really cool. We've got zero footprint. I got zero footprint anywhere. Nobody watches my stuff. So those of you that are stopping by from Rumble, from YouTube, thank you so much. Twitch, thank you. We really do appreciate it. I really would like to be able to put something together that helps people out. As I've said before, man, a channel, a community of folks who don't treat you like shit because you're 50 years old and learn how to play guitar. Not all of us can sit down and play these crazy hot licks, and I've been saying that from the start with my channel. You're not going to get reviews here like you do on some of the other channels. I'm a huge fan of Guitar Guru or Guitar Geek. He's great. But I just cannot do that, man. I can't play like he does. I'm not a professional musician. I cannot give you the same review of an amplifier that he can, but I'll give you mine. And it's, and that's what we want to do here. So, I'm just kind of laying this out for the Rumble crowd who's new to us and hasn't been with us for the last month or so. The whole point of this channel, for the Rumble and the Twitch crowd this week, the whole point of this channel is come here and watch some guy try to learn how to play, and you can laugh at me all you want because I'm willing to put it up here on the internet for you guys to see how bad I am. And hopefully what you see is improvement in the videos, in my playing skills, my playing abilities, my presentations, my producing of music, my producing of TV show, all of that stuff. Hopefully what you see on my channel is improvement. And hopefully the point of this is to give you a spark to say, you know what, I'm going to look at that idiot. If that goofy fool can pull this off, I can learn to play guitar too. Because if you check out my videos and see where I am and how much and where I am in my playing ability, I'm not yet a year. I think I'm right about maybe this 8-month mark, 9, something like that. Close to maybe 10. I don't know. Hasn't been a year yet. According to Musician, I'm at about like 220, 230 days, and I'm sure there's days I've missed, so 260, 270, maybe 250 total. So I'm probably 9 months into it. It's not like I'm a professional, but I've come a ways from 9 months ago never having held a guitar or a bass. And that's the whole point of the channel, so that everybody can have a place to come and they can progress as well as I'm progressing as well. It's what we're looking for. So, anybody that catches on to this, if you know somebody like that would benefit from such a channel, from such a show, pass this on to them. Let them know we're out there. Let them know we're here to laugh at, to watch, to maybe try and learn something, to try and learn what's too much of an amplifier, what's about right for an amplifier, those sorts of things. Talk about how we fix guitars. Again, this is kind of just laying stuff out for you folks on Rumble and Twitch, since it's your first night with us here. And we sure do appreciate you coming by and watching. But yeah, that's where this channel is. That's where I am. That's what we're about. And for you guys, again, on Twitch and Rumble, generally we try to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 o'clock Mountain Time every week. In the middle, I try to get out some videos for you. If you got something specific, you want to hear a crazy song, you want to hear a special song, whatever, let me know. I'll try to learn it. I'll see if I can get it for you. I make no promises, but I'll damn sure try and give you the crappy cover that you want to hear. I sure will. So let me know if you want to hear it. If you got something special, put it in a comment to a song. Send it to us in an email, highdesertmusicchannel@gmail.com. All one word, all lowercase. Put in a comment to us on one of the episodes, one of the videos. Send us an email. Let us know. We'll get it out for you. I'll try anyway. You got a specific topic, you got a specific amp or something like that you want to talk about on the show, let me know. You got a specific program or DAW that you want to talk about. You got a specific MIDI controller you want to talk about. Let me know. I'll see what I can do. I know some guys in the music world, in the guitar world, and maybe I can borrow some of these items if I don't have them. Maybe these Wednesday live shows you guys would like just guitar reviews. Here's one of my guitars. Here's one of my basses. This is me playing it in a crappy manner. Here's what the switches do, so on and so forth. Maybe that's what you want. I don't know. Let me know. We're going to keep working on that Wednesday show. Haven't zeroed in on that one yet, obviously. It doesn't seem like the live gear episodes are the way to go, unless it's going to be an actual repair. I'll do that live. I wouldn't be scared or concerned about doing a repair, adjustments, putting strings on something, blah, blah, blah. I'll do that live for sure. I think that would be a lot easier because you could move the camera one time and just kind of hover it and talk, and just kind of hover the camera over what you wanted to see and only have one shaky, weird camera move in the middle of the show. So I'll look into that, and maybe that's what we start doing. I just don't have a guitar that needs fixed every week. I wish I did. So, hey, if you guys out there in the audience want to start sending guitars in here that need some sort of work, let me know. Chances are we can come up with something. If it's going to get on air and get some people to watch, we'll do it. I like working on guitars. It's just kind of fun, I've spent most of my life working on broken down stuff, so why not guitars? But yeah, that's for you guys, for you new folks over on Rumble and Twitch. That's what this channel's about. That's what we want to do here. And for everybody, all told, all the viewers across all the platforms, I will get some more videos up this week. We will have another episode number 2 of Life and Music, 9 o'clock Sunday morning, 9 o'clock Mountain Time, Sunday morning. We'll get that out. I will try to get some more covers, some more crappy covers recorded and released for you this week. For you guys over on Twitch, I will get everything put up. I will get to my Twitch page that I've never seen, and we will get, I'll get a bunch of videos up there for you so that we can take care of that. Problem with that idea is then it's moving the whole time, and it would be way too hard to watch. It just needs to be one camera moving, parked, and be still. If you're trying to film changing the strings or something, I don't want it on my head because then it's just going to move all the whole time. I don't know that would work. Seems like that would work great for, well, obviously those things are good for action sports. Fixing guitars isn't necessarily an action sport. I think that might, I don't know. Might be difficult that way. Because it would be hard for somebody to, I don't know. But I'll keep thinking about Wednesday episodes and how I want to structure those. And maybe they just need to be recorded. That may very well be what it is I need to record them and use that as an opportunity to kind of learn the editing, transition screen, scene transitions, edits, how to edit this in, how to edit that out, stuff like that. Because I certainly still don't know how to do any of that. All of my videos, if you've watched any of them, it's pretty easy to tell there's 0 edits in anything. So, maybe that's what I need to start doing, is doing the Wednesday episode as a recorded episode, and then it's then it can be edited, and I can kind of learn some of that and make the Wednesday episodes a little better. At least if they're going to be, well, I mean, any of them, to be honest, any of them. I think the only thing that could be done live is, like changing strings or that changing that pickup. That was decent, kind of, to do live. It still didn't give some of the shots I would have liked to give. There's a lot of clarity that wasn't there, and I tried to kind of hustle through it, sort of, where I think maybe if those were recorded and edited, I could spend an hour and a half at it and then cut out what I don't need. Maybe even do some voiceover parts here and there as like a montage kind of thing. I don't know that we're that highbrow around here to have such a thing as a montage on any of our videos, but it's possible. Who knows? All right, you know what? I think that's it for tonight, guys. Yeah. This old power plant needs to fire up. The chimney has not been smoking for a while, so I think we're going to go handle that. And I do appreciate you guys coming by, the viewers that we had tonight. I really thank you so much for coming out. Anybody that catches up to this video later on, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I really do want to be able to bring you guys something decent, something cool, something helpful. Something that keeps musicians motivated somehow, even if it's just pure motivation to be better than me, which doesn't take much. If you watch my other videos, you'll see. So yeah, thanks for coming by. Thanks for checking out the channel. I really, really do appreciate it. Give us a like. Give us a like the videos. Subscribe to the channel. Leave us some comments, good, bad, or otherwise. We'd sure love to hear it. Emails, please give us an email if you got something you want to say, something you want to get out, something you want to see on the channel. Let us know. Send us an email, highdesertmusicchannel@gmail.com. That's highdesertmusicchannel, all one word, all lowercase, @gmail.com. Send us an email, let us know. Studio audience, thank you for coming by tonight. Yep. All right, yes. Yeah, it's a good time, wasn't it? They're thrilled. Yeah. What I think they're most happy about is the churro cart is moving around through the stands now. So, along with tacos, we're going to give them a churro tonight. It is Labor Day, one of those holidays here, and so for the holidays and the 3-day weekend, we will bring churros, by God, to our people. Tacos aren't enough. On Labor Day, you need a churro. And that's that. I will not go so far as to buy them Fanta. There is no Fanta, at least free. If you want your own, there's gas stations down the road. Buy your own Fanta there. And they knew that when they came in. I mean, that was on the waiver. So, all right. Again, thank you so much, guys, for watching. Thanks for coming by and checking us out. Yeah, we'll be back Monday, Wednesday, Friday, live shows every night, 9 o'clock, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 o'clock Mountain Time. We will have an episode Sunday morning, music and life.